Hey Bashir, so essentially this is the Trios software. So from here you do your case setup, scan, you can analyze it, and then never mind about this, that's coming obviously with the scanner that you've got up there. But then the first step is, so if you've got a really clear margin, you can click on the margin and it's going to self-detect the margin. So this is a 3Shape software. If you did, or the Trios software, if you want to bring it in a little bit, you can, depending on exactly what area. This is a really clear margin, right? So if you don't have a margin that's as clear, then obviously it's going to be a factor with this auto detection. You might want to, do it a little bit more manually than this auto detect. But essentially, it will auto detect the margin as best as it can. The next step, obviously, you go next. It's going to automatically set the path of insertion. You can change it if you wanted to, but that's a path of insertion there. You can see it started to put a little spacer on there. So that space is your cement gap. So this is where you can change your cement gap spacer to whatever you wanted to. So after that's now done, it's just calculating down on the bottom left. And then we can go next. So this is setting up your, your occlusal plane. So you can set that up in there depending on, your scan and whatnot. And then it will auto-generate a tooth in here. So this is one that's been put in there. And then you can start playing around with how you want all the movements and height and everything like that. You can bring in the upper opposing, and you can check for contacts and whatnot. So you can see that's massively, you could bring that up. I mean, this isn't the right bite to tell you the truth anyhow. You can see it's just starting to come through. You want to try and make sure everything's in a line. You can adjust your contacts automatically. So if you hit play, it's going to adjust your contacts to be a perfect contact point that you want. You can adjust the thickness and how heavy you want that. So within the software, if I were to delete this as well, you can use, where are we? I'll move my face. You can use a slice tool to draw down through, so you can zoom in now. So you can see what I mean. Just this little step here is the little spacer that I was telling you about. So it comes in, so it's, you can see how it comes down on this angle, but it's just got a little bit of a safety buffer with your margin just here. So, you can put a little bit of a buff into that, to make sure you're happy with thickness and whatnot, make sure it's a little bit thinner. But that's essentially what I was talking to you about, is it just makes it that little bit thicker on the marginal edge, so that it protects it when it's milling. You can also bring it into an articulator as well, but essentially reconnect to margin line. So that just gives you an idea of the design software. And then after you've done all that, you can then go into the next step, which is the cam. And from here, you're pulling the block into the design software. Beta Dynamic, this one is, so you can choose obviously your material at the start and what you want it to mill out of. But this is Beta Dynamic. You can go standard, fast, standard, or high definition depending on what you want. And then after that's done, you hit produce, and then it's going to go automatically to the mill software. Now, I don't have a mill hooked up at this time, so it's not going to send to the mill per se. Please prepare machine, and then obviously this is a workflow where it integrates into the machine, and then it's going to start milling directly into the mill software. So this is the mill software here that it's going to get sent to. So obviously you choose your job, and then you hit play, and then it's going to start milling. So now these are all the jobs. You can see that that's not the current one, but there is. I don't think it's, to tell you the truth, oh no, let's just try start. Let's see if it does. I don't think this is going to send through because I don't have the mill connected. But essentially this is your milling software over here, the CNC. Now, if if you did want to do it the other way, the lab software, so I'll make another little video and send that through to you so you can see the lab software. So, but as you can see at this point in time, you're doing all your placement of the tooth within the block within the 3Shape software, and then it's going automatically into the CNC, and you're just hitting play within CNC. Alright, CNC is not responding because I don't have a mill plugged in, yada yada yada. Never mind. So, but that just gives you an idea of the particular workflow. So I'll just close out of this and I'll make a new video for the dental system.